First political rally he had since essentially the Attorney General, Mr. Barr, came out and highlighted what is in the Mueller report, which is 300 pages in length. Now, here's the thing. Democrats are now accusing the Attorney General of covering up damaging information because he has not released the whole thing. They're working behind the scenes to do it, and apparently as soon as Congress sees it, that is when the White House will see it as well. Although I understand the Department of Justice is also looking at the document to figure out if there is anything in there that would be covered by executive privilege.
Right. They have to go through it. They need time to go through it and make sure they're not going to give out information that America should not see for national security reasons. And he read that report within about, 24 hours. He released the summary of what he saw in there so that you and I and everyone in America didn't have to wait weeks. But he's being criticized for it.
Yeah, and by the way, the headlines really are so negative. On a positive story for the president, they can't handle it because 300 pages are coming out soon. Here it is. The Huffington Post, the Mueller report is hundreds of pages long, which raises the question, how accurate can a 4-page summary be? You never heard of summarizing? New York Times says Mueller report exceeds 300 pages, raising questions about the 4-page summary. Like what questions? That it's not for 300 pages? And Mueller's report on Russia and Trump is more than 300 pages long. That's what we all knew that ahead of time.
And Brian, like you said, the summary thing, everyone is probably thankful. We don't have to read 300 pages. We all will probably. But you at home, you're probably not going to sit down and read 300 pages. We want the summary.
I have a confession. I never read the Odyssey. I only read the Monarch notes. I still got a very good, I got a very good grade.
The Cliff Notes?
I wouldn't say that on TV. Your teacher could be watching.
We're not live, are we?
No. We're still waiting for John Rich to call. So anyway, you look at those headlines. Yeah, he didn't call. Nope. You look at those headlines and you realize, hey, wait a minute. That's pretty much, those headlines from the mainstream media, pretty much exactly what the Democrats are saying. Watch this.
No, thank you, Mr. Attorney General. We do not need your interpretation. Show us the report, and we can draw our own conclusions. We don't need you interpreting for us. It was condescending, it was arrogant, and it wasn't the right thing to do. So the sooner they can give us the information, the sooner we can all make a judgment about it.
Believe she looked at a 4-page summary and said it was condescending. You wouldn't even see the 300 pages. How would you even define that? By the way, the Ken Starr report was 445. It all went out there, and the Democrats said, my goodness, we can't do this again. It's so salacious. It's on the permanent record. We can't do, and a lot of stuff we still can't explain to children. The 9/11 attacks, they did a report there. That was 567 pages. When they did the Watergate recommendations, it was 60 pages. So 300 pretty much is the sweet spot. And I'm sure there's going to be some things negative on the president. We know about some ill-timed meetings. We know all about it. So if you're going to come back, read the 300 pages and say there's a Trump Tower meeting, you're going to come back and say, oh, my goodness, Paul Manafort had connections to Eastern Europe where he worked for 20 years. And that's why he's got some personal problems. Go ahead. But for the president, I'd go full steam ahead. He's got his review. Mueller never challenged his good friend William Barr's assessment. Move ahead.
Rush agrees with you, Brian. Listen.
Pelosi and the rest want us to believe that Barr is lying about what's in this report, that there is evidence of collusion in this report. If that's true, what must they think of Barr? What must they, and where is Mueller saying, hey, wait a minute, Barr is lying about this. I found collusion. I found obstruction. It's in my report. Mueller isn't saying that. Swalwell and Schiff are lying to the American people because they can't give it up. It is outrageous, and some of these people need to be held account. I hope the president calls a special counsel to look into this because the American people deserve to know how they have been manipulated. They deserve to know what the Democrat Party and the American left, descending from the Obama administration, attempted to pull off here, and it better never, ever happen again.
And keep in mind, the Mueller investigation was started to look into Russia collusion, and the Mueller report, according to Mr. Barr, was emphatic. While the Russians tried to do something and reached out to the Trump campaign never bit. There was no collusion.
All right, well, we got news that there's another caravan